that's a good team, and you can see their starting pitcher Core pitched a really nice game, and to sit for 2 hours and 15 minutes and come out. And I know we jumped on him a little bit when we regrouped, but he just continued to mix, and I thought he did a good job. So hats off to him. Interesting for our side of the decision making on Joey. It didn't feel like he was on it, and we thought maybe some velocity would change things up. And Prescott clearly had it, and there's more in the tank. Micah told me he's going to throw 100 miles an hour, and I think everybody in here was probably peeking at that board when it kept saying 99. Kinnear came in, got a pop-up, and then Johnny A finished it. But, you're in that position, and there's a chance that's a difficult mid-game decision on burning some arms. But we had to do what we had to do to find a way to win that thing. These guys had great games. Clearly, I thought his home run after the break was a huge moment. Chase he smoked that ball, and the other base hit was key. And I thought the defense stood out today. We had a lot of line drive double plays. I think the one to right field early in the game was huge, and I think our athleticism and the physicality showed itself a little bit. I didn't think our at-bats overall were as crisp and sharp as we need to be, but he pitched a really good game, and sometimes it's tough, especially with the use of the secondary pitches like he had a feel for today, and you can see statistically why he's very effective. So we're fortunate to get out of here with a win.
Take questions, please.
Coach, just to earn that first victory at home in the regional, weather delay, just grinding it out, just talk about setting the tone for FSU baseball moving forward.
Sure makes things easier for you if you can win the first game. You get into that other side of things, there's a lot of baseball that's ahead of you, and we still have a lot of baseball ahead of us, but it's obviously much more difficult if you lose the first one. So these guys worked all year, and it's not easy. Starting in August to build to try to be in a position where you are playing at home and giving your fans the opportunity. They support us every pitch. The animals, they add so much to the atmosphere here, and they're not just for this, they're here every game. And some of you don't feel that in person as often as we do. So you do need to win the first one to make it as smooth as you can, and these are 4 good teams. When you look at this, in my opinion, I've been doing it a long time, it's a difficult region, and I think you saw that today.
Myles, it's always difficult to go into a rain delay, especially when your nerves are going first game of the tournament. How important was it to come out of that rain delay and set the tone the way the offense did bottom third?
Yeah, I thought it was super important. That's what we need to do is do that after coming in and doing something like that. So just do that and be the one that did that was pretty cool.
Chase, you talk about getting your first home run. I think you had one similar earlier in the season that just hit the top of the fence, but to see that one go over, just how excited were you?
Very, very. The ball that I hit against Clemson and off the top of the wall, I thought that was out. I really did, but to see that one go, it felt good. Some butterflies in the stomach for sure.
Myles, was there a moment in fall ball, October, like a meeting with you and Link that you talked about this is what you could be as a baseball player for this team at some point in the season?
I think we have been countless different meetings and stuff about what could happen and stuff. And I think that was kind of just everyone already knew kind of what was capable. But I think I need to do the stuff I need to do to get to that point to do that.
Link, 2 quick questions. Did we ever get a distance on his home run?
I've told you guys before, the TrackMan math equation doesn't compute that. So I didn't know. I haven't gotten it. If we didn't get it in game, I don't know that the post-game report is going to be anything different, because if it was on the post-game report, I think it would have been accessible immediately. And the aggressiveness, I think the one thing was you being a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. Those were probably the biggest talks we had in the fall and the preseason.
And it happened early in the game before the delay, but I know he didn't have a great day at the plate, but Lodi's making those back-to-back plays, including the one in basically left field. Like he ran out. That's a play that if he doesn't make that, they have a runner at second with nobody out.
Yep. And he did a nice job of asking for help. Yeah. And that ball was up there. And you have good athletes all over the place, and Lodi's stayed with it. Like the moment that was up, he sensed that could happen. And you do know that sun at that time of day is kind of sitting where it is in play for the left field. And we had another situation, I guess it was here, right, where Max kind of lost one. Where was that? Yeah, it was an AC Durham, where he lost one, and maybe we didn't ask for enough help soon enough, so we learned. And I thought that was well done. Lodis, if you see 3 plays in a row like that, I don't know that I've ever seen it. But that, and then the diving play, there's a lot of good defensive plays that you could talk about, and a lot of the little double plays, the line outs were key.
It's always a bit of a roller coaster with bullpen over the course of the season. Definitely has been with this bullpen. You asked a lot of them asked them to pick up 6 innings coming out of the delay. I guess how much do you hope that 6 shutout, what they did, those 3 delivered, can kind of be a tone setter for that group in the postseason?
There's a lot of innings remaining, and we need to trend in that direction. We really do. So to come in and hold that thing was really important. And I think there's a little more in the tank, to be quite honest with you, with some of the guys that came in. I didn't think we were quite as sharp as maybe I was hoping, and my expectations are very high. But they were kind of tough to put away. All in all, I thought our guys managed it well. I do think there's a little more execution to be had to put yourself in a position to punch people out. And when you're in position to punch people out, get the ball in the space that it needs to be to get your swing and miss.
Chase, is there like a sense of relief that you finally got that home run, knowing that you can do all the other things right, but just I always had the mindset you're trying to get that knock one out of the park. Is there like a sense of relief with that?
Nah, man, not even. I'm not a home run hitter. My game is gap to gap. I mean, I've hit a couple home runs now, and it felt good, but in my mind, it was just another hit, helping the team. I'm a big team guy. Whatever I can do to help the team, that's what I want to do.
Lee, how big is in a bat like Hinkerson, after his home run, he gets second, third, I think, with 1 out. He gets down 0-2. Doesn't square it up necessarily, puts the ball in play and gets you a run.
Yeah, you're not going to score runs if you don't move the ball. And we had a lot of weird at-bats. Honestly, you guys know it. And again, I go back to the pitchers. Like if the at-bats are strange, it's usually a credit to the guy on the mound that's executing and has pretty good stuff. But that was big. Like you felt the momentum hanging on that situation a little bit. So it was good.
Chase, we know your speed has been such a huge part of your game, but the way that you're able to take care of these opportunities, like the single you have, you end up getting the extra base on second. What is it that you're looking for when those balls come in from the outfield, and what kind of mistake can you spot to get an extra base and put some pressure on the infield?
How can I advance safely? It was the same play up in Durham where the ball hit the right field, God throws it through the cut, and I'm hung up in the rundown. And me and Coach Link talked about that. We want to be aggressive, but we want to be smart on the bases. So that's what I'm trying to work on now, just being smart and aggressive.
Since you mentioned about Durham, people are still talking about that catch that you made, or like just thoughts on looking at it now, like looking at it from this and that, talking about that catch.
From the guy in the scoreboard's point of view.
That scoreboard.
Oh, it was nice. That was nice. I didn't even know he was back there until I looked back and see someone looking through the scoreboard. But yeah, I'm trying to get in contact with them, reach out, tell them thank you, see if I can send them some stuff. It's a nice picture.
Like a lot of the guys in the lineup were with you last year and helped you get to Omaha and how far you guys made. Just what does it mean to get performances out of newcomers like Myles and Chase today, and what it can mean for the rest of the way?
Well, the expectation for the guys in the locker room is that you have an opportunity to move on, and you see the pictures of the people on these walls and what they've done, and we lost a lot, and you have to try to position the roster so that you have talented people that can step right in and keep the program moving in the direction you want it to move. And you build it, it's not easy. The evaluation of players and the recruitment of the players to get them to your campus is a huge part of college baseball, and you have to position it right. So we needed these guys to step in, and we had in mind what they would do and where they would play, and then you have to go execute it and do it. And the trend should be that some of the guys that are in the lineup today that helped us, they're probably going to be gone. So then you're already trying to look to next year, how do you align and manipulate things to position it so you're bringing more guys like this in when you know you're losing some talented players.
I think Joey threw 45 pitches before the weather hit. I know you said maybe it wasn't the sharpest. Is that something? It's kind of a weird situation. Is it possibly could get a couple more innings from it later in the weekend if the right opportunity presents itself?
Absolutely. And we were okay. Like when it got to that point, once it passed a certain amount of time, we were okay making a move. We didn't want to force it, and we feel like with where he was, he can still bounce back.
Would he have been an option if it would have been the 30-minute delay only? Would he have been an option to go back out?
Yes, we were trying to work through that. Yep, no doubt.
You touched on Peyton earlier, but coming out and he had 4 strikeouts in his relief appearance, just to get that from him. You talked about there's still more from the bullpen, but can that give the other guys when they're following him up, like Kinnear and John, a chance to kind of build some momentum?
That stuff's electric, and you're trying to get kids to match something with the fastball, and we're trying to find the slider and find the feel for it. He threw a couple good ones, but it was good. And when you're throwing the ball with that kind of velocity, you should have some good results if you're in the zone to some extent. But it's fun to watch them develop, and there's more. Like there's more coming, and it did set a good tone. And we talked in there about there were moments to separate. Our at-bats weren't complete enough to allow us to open that game up and really, truly separate. It never felt like we had complete control of the game. We were leading, but the bullpen guys did a great job, and the defense, some really good plays behind them.
Myles, that 3-1 pitch, are you looking for a type of pitch or just location? Like, what's your mindset when it's 3-1?
It kind of just depends on the pitcher and the situation. There, I was sitting off speed because I lost the prior guy. I swung through a 3-1 changeup, so I knew, and he'd been throwing that all game, so I knew he was going to try to throw it off speed again, and he did. So that's why.
Myles, I know how long you've been waiting. I mean, you've been a fan, been a hometown kid for a long time. How much did your NCAA tournament debut here, I guess, live up to expectations? What did it mean? Have you reached all 4 times?
I think it surpassed every expectation I could have possibly had for, especially to get a home run. I mean, it's kind of what I do, and be able to jog the base is pretty fun, so it definitely surpassed my expectations.
Chase, you had a big hit in a lefty-left situation in Durham. Just how do you feel in those situations now since you've come back from injury only hitting left-handed?
Man, that left and left is tough. It's tough, but I'm definitely starting to get more comfortable with it. Just hanging in there. That off-speed stuff starts behind you and does all types of funky stuff. But the more I see it, the better I feel like I'm getting at it.
Any more questions tonight? Gentlemen, thank you.